Alright, this is the Aztec Barcode. The Aztec Barcode is a 2D barcode that is used primarily in the European countries, not too much here in America, but it's still cool and I like it. So, to show you what the Aztec Barcode looks like, it's this guy right here, obviously, and he has its finder pattern right here in the center, these three black rings. For the compact version, there's the full size, which has 4 black rings. But the Aztec Barcode has this center finder pattern and the data and error correction on the outside of this guy. Now, what makes this guy unique from the other 2D barcodes is that he can have a black surrounding to him, meaning he does not need any kind of quiet zone surrounding him for the barcode finder to read this guy. So that's a pretty handy feature. I think it's really cool. In fact, you can get these guys side by side with no quiet zone between them, and they'll all read just fine. So that's pretty neat. Alright, so let's look at the components of the Aztec Barcode. Of course, around the center here is the data and error correction. Let's just call them dominoes for now, because that's kind of how I learned them to be called. And the black and white area, and specifically these white areas here as well, are all the finder pattern for the Aztec Barcode. These 4 corners here of this square are specifically made this way to be a orientation to say this is the top left, this is the top right, and so forth. The green of the barcode is the number of layers, which is the number of domino rows. This would be like 1 domino row, this would be 2 domino rows, and 3 domino rows. So that's held within here. It also contains the number of code words we care about, the rest are error correction, and then it contains an error correction number that helps with error correction, but I don't know how to do error correction. That's on you if you want a whole lot of math, and I'm not that kind of math guy. So, moving along, to show you what these kind of dominoes will do as far as data goes, I have these arrows pointing down and going around this thing, down the left side, around the bottom, and up to the right, across the top. Now, this is true for reading the data by the domino style, and I'll show you what these dominoes mean in a second. But when you want to start the rotation to figure out how this thing's all laid out, you have to start at the top left and work your way to the right. And I'll show you what that looks like. But to kind of show you what a 2-layered Aztec looks like, it starts here, comes up, goes around, and these arrows are terrible and confusing, but that's okay. I'll get to that, what that means here. Okay, so in Aztec Barcode, there are code words, and these code words are a number of bits defined by how many layers the Aztec Barcode has. In this case, I'm using a real simple barcode. It's only 1 layer long, and so therefore, if there is 1 to 2 layers, it's 6 bits. 3 to 8 layers, it's 8 bits. 9 to 22, 10 bits, and 23 to 32 layers, because this thing is huge, is 12 bits. So, what we're going to do is start our first code word right here at the top, starting from the upper left and going to the right. We have our first 6 bits, our next 6 bits, and our next 6 bits, and our next 6 bits. And then this code word here, you can kind of see has this weird pattern, because everything, if you remember the dominoes, it goes up and up and up and up and up, and that continues across this one. Now, continuing from there, it goes across and across and across and across and across. Now, in this case, it goes across and across and across, and then comes down again. So I'll get to that when I do some data, actually. So you can kind of see that clockwise pattern is only used for determining where the code words are. If you want to get the data, you have to go counterclockwise, which is completely ridiculous. Just as a side note, this barcode was terribly difficult to figure out because I had to go to a Russian document to figure all this stuff out, because Wikipedia is not helpful, and the IEC standard is like behind a paywall for everything. That's why I had to get it from Russia. That and the patent was messy. So I'll make links to the patent and the Russian document in the description, so you can figure this all out if you want. But continuing on, here is the barcode I've chosen, and you can see black and white is the finder pattern. Green is the surrounding data. Forgetting what the actual word is for it, but it's the barcode data, and then the gray is the data itself. Alright, continuing on. Let's look at what the green data area means. So these first 2 bits here, starting from the upper left again and going to the right, these first 2 bits are the number of layers. Now, in a compact Aztec barcode, there are only, I think, up to 4 layers. Yeah, 4 layers. On the full-size Aztec barcode, there is a ton more. But I'm not going to bother trying to decode one of those. And so this number is these 2 bits plus 1. So as you can see here, I have bit 1 and 2. They're both not on, so therefore they are off. So therefore the layer is 0 plus 1 equals 1 layer. There we are, minus my 1 layer. Alright, cool. So now, how many code words do I care about? Well, that's the next, going left again, that's the next portion of data. So I have 8 and 1, and this is again plus 1. So since I have 1 layer, I know I have 6-bit code words, so that means I have 8 and 1 is 9, plus 1 equals 10 code words. Okay, so now I know I have 10 code words that I'm going to be using to figure this all out. Alright, so I went ahead and drew up my boxes going clockwise to say 6 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 bits. Okay, so I have these 17 code words that are in this barcode. So 10 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I care about. The rest are error correction and I don't care. Beautiful. Let's decode this sucker now. Alright. Here is the same thing, except I have shown you the dominoes for each of these guys. Oops. And so here is where the Aztec barcode gets easy but crazy. Now, when I say crazy, this thing could have been so much simpler for them to just create and, you know, help people understand it, but they got to do crazy things that have made me upset. So if you go to the Wikipedia website, you will see this neat little demonstration here on how the barcode works. And they do a pretty functional job of explaining it, except they don't really explain how the dominoes and code words work. So you can see, like here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is these 5 bits right here equals a capital W. Okay, that's cool. And then these 3 bits here and these 2 bits, because you got this red here, it's really hard to see in the video, I'm sure, but this would mean latch to lowercase. Okay, that's cool. And then these 5 bits here equals the I. Well, that's more or less true, but not completely. Let me give you the full story behind this guy so you don't spend a week banging your head against the wall like I did. So here is the listing of all the applicable characters you can get from the Aztec code words. And of course, if you just go to wikipedia.org Aztec Code, you'll have it. So let's figure this out. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these 6 bits and just put them into 6-bit chunks. So the first chunk here is 1 and 0, because it's all pointing to the inside, then coming back out 1, and then coming back in 1 or 0, 1. All right, and then 1 and 1. Okay, that's our first code word. My second code word here is going to be starting at the outside 1, 1, and then coming down the next one 0, 0, and the next one is 1, 0. Okay. Now, let's see. Next one is going to be these 3, and this one is where it gets crazy. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now, why is that crazy? You just watch. You'll see. It's not nice. Okay, the next code word is 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. Okay, now this one starts from the bottom up going 0, 0, 0, 1, and then 1, 1. Alright. Now this is another awful code. Oh no, wait, this code word is okay. This one passes. 0, 0. Next one over is 0, 0, and then 1, 0. Okay. And then this guy is a 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. And then this guy, provided I didn't mess up my thought process. No, I'm good. 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, now this guy gets crazy. Whereas he starts down here at 1, 0, and then comes across to down here, going from the outside in. So 0, 1, and then back up here, 0, 1. Okay, and then the last guy going here, starting at the outside and going in, 0, 0, and then this guy is 1, 1, and the final one, 1, 1. Okay, so now we got all these together. Fantastic. Now we got to concatenate this mess. But first, let me show you this guy, which I said was a terrible thing. If you have any code word ending in 1, the answer to this is just to remove that 1. Why? Because, I don't know, ask the makers of the barcode. It's just this terrible thing they did, and it makes me upset. So, let's concatenate all these things together. So, this guy, 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 and this guy. Okay, there's this awful string. And so what we want to do is take the left 5 bits from here. So Excel is a nice thing for that. We can go left. We can say we want this text, and we can say we want 5 characters. Okay, so here's my first 5 characters from there. Excel also has a really nice thing called bin to decimal. Okay, and we want this guy, and that is 19. So 19. Let's go to our Wikipedia reference here. 19 on the list. Oh yeah, it always starts at the uppercase, by the way. So R. R is our first letter. Cool. So we got something so far. R. Awesome. Now I want to take my string and remove those 5, and we can do that by going right. We want to say this text, and for how many characters? Well, it's really going to be the length of the original guy minus 5. Oops, and I forgot to put a parenthesis, but it did it for me, so that's cool. Alright, so the same thing here is we're going to take this left command, drop it right there. You can see it grabs the left 5 bits right there, so that's cool. And then copy and paste that guy, 28. So what's 28? 28 is latch to lower. So you can see each of these columns is a mode, and we have uppercase mode, lowercase mode, mixed mode, punctuation mode, and digit mode. And if you get a number within that that is like a DL, it's digit latch. If you get a like US, that would be an upper shift. So a shift is just the next character is going to be uppercase, but after that, continue back to where you were. All right, cool. So this guy is simply lower, latch to lower. So everything after this is going to be latch to lower. One more thing you should know, if you ever get dumped into digit mode, which is common if you have numbers, digit mode only takes 4 bits, not these 5 bits. So if you ever get a digit latch or a digit shift, if there is a digit shift, then you will be only pulling 4 bits out, not 5. Okay, so let's copy our right string here, dump that in there. Okay, so that chopped off the 5 bits. We're going to copy and pasta that guy into here, and now we have this number. Okay, cool. 16. 16 is going to be where I'm at. 16 is going to be an O, and since we're in lower mode, it's going to be a lowercase o. That's nice. Okay, so what we can really do here is just kind of copy, 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 oops, copy, copy. Oh, pressing too many buttons. Oh, I lost it. Copy, pasta, pasta, and pasta. Alright. Really, you should go through these one by one in case you hit a digit latch mode, so you don't always just do 5. But for this case, I know they're always going to be 5. You can see at the end here, I don't have 5 digits, and I don't have 5 bits, if you will, and I know that it's not going to be a digit. So really, the Aztec Code will pad the end of its concatenated bit stream with ones or zeros. I've only ever seen ones. So we can just remove this last guy and not worry about him. So a 3 is going to be a B. Now an easy way to remember this is that A starts at 2, and then you can just do your alphabet after that to figure out what it's all going to be. So B for 3, 16, again that was O up there, so O. 14 is going to be M, and like I said, 2 is going to be A, and 21 is going to be a T. 10 is going to be an I. 4 is going to be A is 2, B is 3, C is 4. And then 20 is S. Huh, what do you know? That spells Robomatics. Who would have thought? So that's cool. Anyways, there it is. That's how you decode an Aztec barcode by hand. Hope you get some fun use out of that.